Get ready to explore the massive backbone of America, our nation's awe-inspiring infrastructure. The U.S. is pumping in huge investments to build a future-proof network, and we're here to shine a spotlight on its most epic projects. From coast to coast, we'll be counting down 15 game-changing undertakings that will leave you speechless. Number 15 takes us out west, all the way to Washington State, where an engineering marvel awaits. Buckle up and hit State Route 520 as we're about to drive across something truly one of a kind, the Evergreen Point Floating Bridge. As you cross, you'll realize this isn't your average bridge all. It's a floating sensation that will leave you wondering, how does it do that? But here's the coolest part. This incredible feat of engineering doesn't even lift off the water like a superhero. It seems to effortlessly skim along the surface, defying gravity with its sleek, low-profile design. So how does it stay afloat? Let's dive into the details. The Evergreen Point Floating Bridge was officially opened to traffic in 2016 and now holds the title of world's longest floating bridge, stretching an impressive 7,700 feet across stunning Lake Washington. This marvel spans 6 lanes of traffic. Talk about making waves. As one of the most ambitious U.S. infrastructure projects, it's a testament to human ingenuity and the boundless possibilities of innovation. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of how this engineering mastermind stays afloat. The Evergreen Point Floating Bridge relies on 77 massive concrete pontoons as its foundation, each one specially designed to displace just enough water to support the weight of the bridge itself, making it seem like magic. But don't be fooled. This is serious science in action. And to keep commuters safe, the roadway rises a mere 20 feet above the lake's surface, while 58 anchor points hold tight against any drifting currents. Now that we've dived deep into floating bridges, let's make our way to another American icon, the Hoover Dam. Next stop, the iconic Hoover Dam. You might have heard it called the Boulder Dam, but don't worry, we're talking about the same incredible feat of engineering. Located in Black Canyon along the Arizona-Nevada border, where the Colorado River flows, this concrete arch dam is not only the highest of its kind in the U.S., but also holds back an enormous reservoir. Lake Mead, one of the world's largest artificial lakes, spanning a mind-boggling 115 miles upstream. And guess what? Even though it was built way back between 1930 and 1936, this dam still plays a vital role today. It helps control floods and silt, generates affordable hydroelectric power, supports local agriculture through irrigation, and quenches the thirst of surrounding communities. But the Hoover Dam isn't just about function. It's also a major tourist magnet, attracting an impressive 7 million visitors annually. Let's dive into some mind-blowing stats about the Hoover Dam. This incredible structure stands an impressive 720 feet tall and stretches 1,244 feet long at its crest, made up of over 4.3 million cubic meters of concrete. That's a whole lot of cement. The dam's power generation capabilities are equally astonishing, producing a massive 2.1 gigawatts of energy. But how does it work? Well, 4 towering intake towers above the dam play a crucial role in diverting Lake Mead's waters into massive steel pipes, which then feed the water into the hydroelectric power plant below, generating clean and reliable energy for millions. And here's the best part, nearly all of this power stays local, powering Southern California, while the rest fuels Nevada and Arizona. Get ready to be awestruck by the Grand Coulee Dam's predecessor, the Hoover Dam. Originally spearheaded by the Federal Bureau of Reclamation, this engineering marvel was completed way back in 1941 with its main structure and power plant, but it took one more year until 1942 for it to reach full operational status. Check out these staggering stats. The dam soars an incredible 554 feet above the river's bedrock, measuring 3,876 feet along its crest. Although, due to some clever modifications, it now forms an impressive L shape, stretching a whopping 5,227 feet. The entire structure boasts over 9,000 cubic meters of concrete and has an amazing power capacity of 4.2 gigawatts. Talk about energy efficiency. Let's dive into the incredible Grand Coulee Dam. Not only does this colossal structure create Franklin Delano Roosevelt Lake, boasting an enormous storage capacity of nearly 12 billion cubic meters. That's massive. But did you know it sits majestically across the Columbia River? This powerhouse also provides vital irrigation to the Columbia Basin project below, helps regulate floods, eases navigation, and generates hydroelectric power. When the U.S. needed it most during World War II, the Grand Coulee Dam stepped up and supplied a ton of electricity. Talk about being a real game changer. Today, this engineering marvel is rightfully recognized as one of the 7 civil engineering wonders of the world. Buckle up, folks. Let's talk about Sanford Lab, where science meets extreme depth. Down in Leeds, South Dakota, you'll find this underground sensation almost 5,000 feet below Earth's surface, to be exact. What started as a gold mine has transformed into an epicenter for groundbreaking research on dark matter. And here's why. It's the perfect hideout from cosmic rays that our planet sends out, making it ideal for studying mysterious particles like dark matter and neutrinos. Think about it, 6 Empire State Buildings stacked up, and you've got the Sanford Lab's remarkable depth giving scientists an unparalleled view into the unknown. Get ready to be amazed by the sheer scale of Sanford Lab. Although it might seem tiny above ground, covering less than a square kilometer, this underground powerhouse stretches an incredible 31 square kilometers deep into the earth. With ample space for various laboratories, campuses, and even a water treatment facility, this massive complex is a hub for innovation. Plus, Sanford Lab isn't just about science, it's also open to visitors, allowing us all to learn about its rich history as a gold mine and discover how research here can shape our future. But that's not all. The mine itself extends an astonishing 8,000 feet beneath our feet, leaving plenty of room for further exploration and groundbreaking discoveries. Buckle up, folks. If you've ever flown into or out of a major U.S. airport recently, you'll know that many of these hubs are long overdue for a serious makeover. Chicago's O'Hare International Airport is one of the largest and busiest in the country, but with the U.S. set to host the FIFA Games and the Olympic Games in the near future, it's time for a massive upgrade. The current infrastructure just won't be able to handle the increased traffic, so get ready for an epic transformation that will take this airport into the 21st century. Get ready for a major game changer. Chicago's O'Hare International Airport is breaking the bank on an $0.5 billion revamp, one of the biggest airport overhauls in U.S. history. This massive makeover will set off a chain reaction, inspiring other top international airports to do the same. But it's about time, right? O'Hare's main terminal hasn't had this kind of TLC since day one. The plans are huge. Terminal 5 is expanding. Terminal 2 is getting a total glamour treatment with 2 new satellite concourses and an extra 50 gates. In total, the airport will gain a whopping 3 million square feet of space by 2022. And don't worry, this massive project won't be finished in one go. It'll roll out in phases across the entire airport. Coming in at number 10, we've got the Big Dig, Boston's infamous megaproject that took tunnel vision to a whole new level. This massive central artery tunnel project was all about linking up tunnels, greenways, and bridges like never before, with a huge chunk of it connected to the central artery of Interstate 93. Sounds cool, but when you've got that many moving parts, things can get messy fast. And the Big Dig was no exception. Planning started back in '82, but construction didn't kick off until '91, and then, well, it dragged on for a whopping 16 years. But here's the kicker: the project didn't wrap up. because they'd finally finished building everything. It came to an abrupt end due to a partnership meltdown between the program manager and the Massachusetts Turnpike Authority in 2007. Wow, talk about a dig that went too deep. But here's where things took a seriously ugly turn for the Big Dig. It became a hot mess of epic proportions. Leaks, design flaws, delays, massive budget blows, and poor leadership decisions just kept piling up. To make matters worse, corners got cut, cheap materials were used, and there were even some arrests along the way. Unfortunately, all these issues eventually led to a tragic fatality when a motorist lost their life in the project. Initially, the Big Dig was supposed to be a sleek $0.8 billion deal that wrap up by 1998, but it ballooned to 4 times that amount and limped its way to completion 10 years behind schedule. And get this, we're still paying for it today. The Big Dig's total cost tag, a whopping $2 billion, with the final bill not due until around 2038. Yikes, what a costly nightmare. Buckle up and get ready for the wildest railway ride ever. The White Pass and Yukon route in Alaska is a real-life adventure that'll take your breath away. Literally. This historic track was built during the Klondike Gold Rush, when miners risked it all to reach the gold in the Yukon. Imagine chugging up a 900-meter climb through snow-capped mountains in just 3 hours. Talk about heart-pounding. For many, facing their fear of heights was just part of the journey in pursuit of riches back in the early 1900s. But what's even more incredible is how this epic feat was accomplished. Building this railway wasn't for the faint of heart. It took a ton of elbow grease and ingenuity to bring this modern marvel to life. You won't believe the daring construction process that went into building the White Pass and Yukon Route Railway. Picture this: workers hanging off ropes, drilling holes into rocky mountain faces. Talk about a death-defying job. Then comes the next crew, blasting their way up with dynamite. And to make matters even more harrowing, they were still building the train, so workers had to take the treacherous route by horseback. Sadly, many horses lost their lives on this grueling climb, leaving riders to trudge through the snow on foot. Despite all the challenges, this incredible feat of engineering is still in use today, a true testament to the perseverance and hard work of those who paved the way. Now, let's shift gears and explore another fascinating piece of American history. Did you know that 1 out of every 142 Americans is currently behind bars? Yes, it's time to talk about the country's massive prison system, established all the way back in 1891. Mind-blowing stats ahead. Did you know that about 2.3 million people in the US are currently locked up? That's a staggering number, and it gets even more impressive when you consider we have the highest per capita prison population globally. Now, before we dive deeper into why this is happening, let's take a look at the sheer size of America's prison system infrastructure. We're talking 1,800 state prisons, 110 federal prisons, 1,700 juvenile facilities, 3,100 local jails, and even more for immigration detainees on indigenous lands and in military bases. That's over 6,700 total institutions. To put this into perspective, we have almost 340 million people in the US, ranking us third globally after India's massive population of 1.4 billion takes second place. So why are these numbers so high? There are many reasons, but stay tuned as we unravel some surprising answers. Now let's address some serious issues behind America's high incarceration rates. The complex web of interests driving harsh sentencing, cash bail systems, and the long-standing war on drugs have all played a role. But there's hope for change. Since 1891, the U.S. prison system has undergone significant transformations, and with continued effort, it can continue to evolve towards a fairer future. All right, enough serious talk. It's time for a monumental feat of engineering that'll leave you breathless. Welcome to the infamous Ohio River Bridges project. affectionately known as the ultimate spaghetti junction. Buckle up, folks, because this network of interconnected roads and interchanges is not for the faint of heart. Get ready to dive into the massive Ohio River Bridges project aimed at taming the notorious Kennedy Interchange, aka Spaghetti Junction. This engineering beast involved building not one, but two brand new bridges over the mighty river, and it was the biggest infrastructure undertaking the area had ever seen. With a construction timeline of just 2 years, from 2014 to 2016, this project was no small feat. While it successfully reduced stress for drivers navigating Spaghetti Junction, the Ohio River Bridges project came with some hefty consequences. Its whopping $0.1 billion price tag meant that tolls were introduced on the new bridges, leaving many drivers feeling the pinch. But that's not all. A staggering 132 local residents and 80 businesses had to relocate, making this project a double-edged sword for the community. Let's shine our spotlight on number 6, the Empire State Building. This iconic NYC giant has been leaving us starstruck for decades, literally. Its breathtaking nighttime display lights up the sky like a celestial show, outshining the very stars above. People flock from all corners of the globe just to catch a glimpse of this architectural marvel, and it's easy to see why. As one of the most pioneering skyscrapers in history, the Empire State Building has earned its title as the most influential building of its kind worldwide. Its enduring presence is a testament to human innovation and design, making it an absolute must-see for any urban enthusiast or architecture aficionado. Fasten your seatbelts as we dive into some mind-blowing facts about the Empire State Building. This steel giant touched down on the Manhattan skyline back in 1931, standing an astonishing 102 stories high at a whopping 1,250 feet tall. That's a whole lot of vertical real estate. For nearly 5 decades, it held the title of world's tallest building, outshining its neighbor, the Chrysler Building. Let's talk numbers after adjusting for inflation. The construction cost a staggering $164 million and took an impressive year and 45 days to complete. That's less time than some of our current projects. The Empire State Building's framework is made from over 200,000 cubic feet of Indiana limestone and granite, giving it an extra layer of strength. But here's the kicker. This incredible feat of engineering was designed with a lifespan of approximately 7,000 years. Talk about building for the future. Let's set our sights on one of the world's most iconic landmarks, San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge. This engineering marvel was built over 4 incredible years, and if we were to price it out today, the bill would come in at a whopping $166 million. Talk about a budget breaker. Spanning 4,200 feet, this steel beauty connects Marin County to the city by the bay, famously crossing the Golden Gate Strait. But what's behind the Golden name? It's not just about California pride. It refers to the strait itself, which was named Chrysopetra Gate by early European explorers. And that's where we get Chryso, or Golden, completed in 1937. This record breaker held the title of longest bridge globally for nearly 3 decades and was also the world's tallest suspension bridge until the 1960s. Its sheer scale is awe-inspiring, but what's even more impressive is how it has stood the test of time. Over 85 years strong. Let's dive into the incredible details behind the Golden Gate Bridge's design and construction. Joseph Strauss masterminded this behemoth. But it wasn't just his vision that brought it to life. It was a massive effort involving thousands of hand calculations for every single component, from minuscule rivets to critical mooring points. You can imagine how precision was key. One misstep would have compromised the entire project. With over 80,000 miles of steel cable used in its construction, the sheer scale becomes mind-boggling. The engineers spun this cable on site for an impressive 14 months. carefully crafting a structure that could withstand 27 feet of lateral movement, a testament to their dedication to seismic safety. California's notorious earthquakes are no joke, and this bridge had to be able to weather them all. Its durability is truly a marvel of human ingenuity. Let's talk about a New York icon that's redefining the city's skyline, Hudson Yards. This $5 billion masterpiece is more than just a place to hang out. It's an entire urban oasis born from the fusion of Chelsea and Hudson Yard neighborhoods in Manhattan. And yes, you read that right, Hudson Yards even boasts its very own subway stop for your convenience. It's the largest project since Rockefeller Center, but what truly sets it apart is its ever-evolving nature. As we speak, developers are still hard at work until 2024 to bring this vision to life. So, whether you're there to shop till you drop, live like a king, or simply take in the breathtaking views, Hudson Yards has something for everyone, quintessential New York charm included. But here's what you might not know. Beneath the glitz and glamour of Hudson Yards lies an engineering marvel. 13 out of its 16 buildings are built on a platform suspended over the historic West Side Yard, which just so happens to house the Long Island Railroad storage facilities. It's truly a unique blend of old and new. When it first opened in 2012, Hudson Yards was a hotbed of controversy, attracting both tourists and locals who couldn't help but be drawn to its flashy, nouveau riche aesthetic. At the heart of this development stands the Vessel, a staggering 16-story structure with an astonishing 154 flights of stairs designed to resemble a honeycomb. As one of the most expensive projects ever funded by taxpayer money, coming in at $100 million, you'd expect it to be packed with activities. Unfortunately, its primary function remains more of an Instagram sensation than an actual hub of activity. Let's dive into one of the most ambitious engineering feats in recent history, California's Bay Bridge East Span Replacement Project. Spanning the Bay Area, this region is home to 8 massive bridges, each designed to withstand the intense seismic forces that come with living on an earthquake-prone fault line. Among these, the iconic Bay Bridge stood out as a prime candidate for renovation. Between 2002 and 2013, what began as a major overhaul turned into one of the country's largest infrastructure projects ever undertaken. The result, a new, state-of-the-art Bay Bridge that not only left its predecessor in the dust, but also earned the title of the world's longest self-anchored suspension bridge. This engineering marvel stretches an impressive 2,047 feet long and is anchored to a towering 525-foot-tall structure, masterfully distributing 90% of its weight for maximum stability. But what really sets it apart is its innovative earthquake-resistant design. Think of 17,000 strands of wire wound together into a massive cable that's a whopping 2.5 feet thick, providing a protective barrier that loops around the roadway to keep drivers safe during seismic activity. The original Bay Bridge faced double trouble from seismic forces and unstable soil conditions that made it a less than ideal foundation for its towering structure. To address this, engineers had to get creative with the bridge's columns, ensuring they stayed firmly in place despite the tricky terrain. This multi-billion-dollar overhaul wasn't just about aesthetics, it was a massive investment in public safety and infrastructure stability. We're talking $0.2 billion here, folks, paid for by taxpayers. Now, let's hop on to another high-stakes project, California's ambitious high-speed rail plan. It seems like it's been on the state legislature's radar forever, but despite all the hype, this bullet train remains a work in progress. Fast forward from 1996, when a modest $1 million bond kicked off the high-speed rail project, a committee with big dreams and a tiny budget. Today, we're looking at a staggering price tag of nearly $1 billion, making this one of the most expensive infrastructure projects in U.S. history. After years of planning, Construction finally began in 2015 in Fresno, California, and we're now on track for a 2029 launch. So what's all the fuss about? Get ready for a game-changing railway that'll zoom you from northern to southern California in just 3 hours at lightning speeds of around 200 miles per hour. It's going to be a wild ride. Here's the scoop. While you might think high-speed rail is old news in other countries, the shocking truth is that the US is currently bullet train-less. Yes, you read that right, zero. The closest thing we have can hit 150 miles per hour, but in reality, it only averages around 66 miles per hour when carrying passengers. That's why the California High-Speed Rail project is such a big deal. And to top it off, it'll be fully electric, making it not just fast, but also super eco-friendly. Get ready to hit the open road. We're about to take a wild ride through the biggest infrastructure project in US history, the Interstate Highway System. Buckle up, because this journey takes us all the way back to 1908 when the first Model T rolled off the assembly line and changed everything. Fast forward to 1916, when the Federal Road Act gave the green light for a network of interconnected roads that would revolutionize transportation. Today, after investing an astonishing $146 billion, we've got 70 interstate highways stretching an incredible 164,000 miles. Talk about road trippin'. The impact was massive. With highways came freedom from stop-and-go traffic and the birth of modern driving culture, complete with soaring overpasses and sleek underpasses that replaced old-school stoplights. Let's take a step back and imagine life before highways, a time when cities were surrounded by dirt roads that led to who knows where, and urban streets were jam-packed with horse-drawn carriages and early cars. It's mind-blowing to think about how much our lives have changed since then. But as amazing as the interstate highway system is, it wasn't without its drama. Building this massive network came at a cost, literally, as new roads meant tearing down existing structures, leaving communities in shock. Despite the controversy, the end result was well worth it: smoother travel, reduced traffic jams, and lightning-fast shipping that boosted our economy in ways we never thought possible. The interstate highway system is more than just roads. It's a symbol of progress and a reminder of how far we've come as a nation. But there's a catch-all. Without highways, that two-day shipping we love so much wouldn't be possible. The interstate highway system didn't just revolutionize transportation, it brought the entire nation together, bridging gaps between cities and states. It modernized our culture and